The Baywalk. You can never escape the dangers that lie within. Level 60. The Baywalk. Survival difficulty. Class 5. Unsafe, unsecure, entity infestation. Level 60 is the 61st level of the backrooms. It is situated outdoors, sitting next to a bayside. Image caption: a smiler in the distance of the level's upper area. Description: Level 60 is a segmented level that appears to be an infinitely long, newly constructed, and well-kept concrete pathway next to a bay. While the level has streetlights giving off light, most of these lights appear to be either broken or switched off. Wanderers are advised to exercise caution when traversing the pathway, as hostile entities are commonly concentrated in that area. Level 60 has no daylight cycle, leaving most areas of the level shrouded in darkness. Wanderers should try to avoid the upper area of level 60 to prevent encountering contact with hostile creatures, particularly smilers. This level was discovered accidentally by Alphamone Dexterra in September 2020 when he drowned in level 85. Said wanderer is one of the members of the Brave. He is a highly skilled martial arts player, which came into large use when he was the first one to discover the level itself. After his initial reports to the Meg, he was then accompanied by 9 more people, each of whom had their own special skill. Even though the level has a dark environment, there appears to be an unknown phenomenon that affects many wanderers by making them feel relaxed and calm, despite the fact that there are hordes of smilers lurking everywhere. The effect mostly takes place whenever any wanderer starts focusing on the sea breeze coming from the bay. This is thought to be a ruse to get you to lower your guard and become unaware that danger and hostile entities are already in your proximity. Eventually, the effect was officially named and known as the Painless Death. The spawning point, footnote, where the Wanderers start at, end footnote, was studied and determined by the Meg with the help of the Brave group. One will always spawn in the sea after drowning in any level that has a sea/ocean. The segments. Segment number 1. The Upper Area. Image caption: the upper area. This is the primary area of level 60. It is a newly built and well-kept concrete baywalk, where the majority of the streetlights do not function properly, due to the circumstances, footnote, of the Smiler's constant attacks, in which they accidentally break these streetlights, end footnote, causing the level to be mostly dark, making it difficult and challenging for one to see or navigate through the level. It is expected to have proper gear and equipment the moment one enters the level if one would like to survive. The upper area of the bay is the most dangerous part of the level due to reasons such as the segment having zero water/zero food supply, and wanderers being vulnerable to hostile entities. Smilers are the most common entities that are found in this segment's darker areas. The strange effect known as the Painless Death is at its most powerful in this section of the level. Wanderers traversing the upper area will always be disturbed by this phenomenon. It is suggested that you come in pairs or groups to help you snap out of it. Footnote: to help a wanderer on curing the effects of Painless Death. End footnote. Finding any staircase that leads down will always lead to a safer part of the level, the lower area. Because of the streetlights, smilers are heavily concentrated in this area. These entities are drawn to sources of light, which explains why they are mostly found here. Segment number 2. The lower area. Image caption: the lower area. The area where all wanderers that end up on this level come into contact after floating in the sea whenever someone rises. Footnote: rising above the waters, particularly in level 60's sea, end footnote, and sets foot on a dirt pathway that is right next to a concrete baywalk. This part of level 60 is located below the main area of the level. It is a relatively small space with many items and pieces of construction equipment scattered about it. The lower area is a dirt path that follows the same path as the upper area. This segment isn't completed on construction, making it guaranteed that there are no barriers to protect anyone from falling into the sea. On either side of the Baywalk's upper area, there are staircases that can be used to access this section. These stairs are generally 100 meters apart and are safe to use. Also, every streetlight in front of every staircase on the Baywalk are somewhat always functional. Many wanderers must consider staying in the lower area to keep safe while preparing to explore the level. Going instantly to the upper area is a death wish. Consider being patient, for your life matters. Footnote: due to the nature and circumstances of the level, one's survival is crucial as one must help discover more about this level. End footnote. The group known as the Brave mostly resides in this area. Due to the amount of equipment scattered, they use it for useful stuff such as building a secure hiding spot, weapons for defense, etc. The members of the said group are properly trained to fight and defend themselves, making them suitable to live in the level's harsh environment. After the level's discovery by Alphamone Dextra, the Brave was appointed by the Meg to observe and investigate the level. After a month of investigations and observations, the group has concluded and confirmed that the lower area is generally safer due to resources, location, and the vacancy of entities in the area. Footnote: because all of the entities are concentrated in the upper area. End footnote. The group made sure to make the lower area more secure by cleaning some parts of it and making use of the equipment scattered everywhere. As time passed, the group decided to call themselves the Brave because they felt their sole purpose in level 60, where they were staying, was to guide and help any wanderers. Level exclusives: Painless Death. The main cause of death in level 60 is the Painless Death. The Painless Death is a strange phenomenon that occurs exclusively on level 60. Whenever a wanderer focuses on the sea breeze has a strange relaxation effect that makes wanderers feel calmer the longer they stay at the level. This strange phenomenon happens only if the wanderer feels anxious, worried, scared, and hopeless. Although this effect lasts forever and does not go away on its own, it can be stopped either by the wanderer themselves following the guide, or someone else snapping them out of the effect before it's too late. It has been discovered that the effect does get stronger with time, so wanderers are advised to always remember the guide. While the phenomenon was originally discovered by Alphamone Dextra, many people who've ended up in the level have reported feeling the presence of this said effect. About 10 of those people have sadly died. Footnote: due to the phenomenon of the painless death, these people have felt very optimistic that they never cared about the swarms of smilers pursuing them. End footnote. Alphamone Dextra has proposed to their group, known as the Brave, to ensure and prioritize curing the victims of the painless death, if they ever see one. He also states to the Meg base that they will protect and serve, even if it means that they die or suffer from serious injuries. The Guide. If you feel optimistic about the level, immediately think about the dangers that hide within. If you feel the breeze changing at any minute, do not mind and keep moving. Do not attempt to meditate. If you see a wanderer being too positive, do not take doubts and immediately cure the effect. Curing the effect is still varied, but the most common way is to slap the victim. The Sea. The Meg, along with the Brave group, have worked together to determine the sea's components and characteristics accurately. It has been confirmed that the sea at level 60 is identical to the sea in the front rooms. The characteristics of the water constantly changes from acting as a portal at times to being completely devoid of water, footnote, practically like a low tide, end footnote, at others. The measured depth of the sea in its normal characteristic is only 4 feet deep. However, The Brave group cannot further measure the exact depths of the other areas due to the entities present. Due to its weird characteristics, it is widely advised that no wanderer should try to dip into the water or access the shoreline when it's completely devoid of water. Footnote, for you may be attacked by hordes of smilers. End footnote. There were 7 confirmed cases in total, in which the Wanderers unintentionally dipped into the water to hide while being pursued by swarms of Smilers. According to this report, 2 of those Wanderers ended up in level 7. Another one was fortunate enough to be able to get back to the lower segment. The other 4 were discovered dead in the sea. The actual causes remained unknown since the bodies were completely free of scratches and wounds until the Brave discovered the sea's 4th characteristic. The characteristics of the sea, as prepared by the Brave. Characteristics of the sea. First characteristic, normal. The sea acts relatively the same as in the front rooms. Safe. Does not pose any hazards or threats. Around 4 feet in depth. And serves as the only gateway to level 60. Second characteristic, portal. The sea would look the same, though it does not feel like water. It tends to pull anyone who comes into contact during this characteristic. Undergoing observations regarding its safety poses a potential hazard, for it is proven to send you into levels that contain a sea or an ocean, mostly level 7, and unknown water depth. Third characteristic, low tide. The shoreline is exposed, completely devoid of water. Sand color is black, but it does not pose any threats whatsoever. Safe to walk in, though you may encounter a smiler. As a result, it is discouraged to do so. The phenomenon known as the painless death stops completely, and typically happens randomly. Fourth characteristic, ocean. The sea becomes as deep as an ocean. Waves are somewhat calm. Unsafe. Risk of drowning due to the currents. Estimated water depth of about 3,740 meters, or 12,270 feet. The water current strangely goes downwards, causing one to be pulled to their depths by drowning, and is the main cause of death of the 4 unlucky people who were escaping from the swarms of smilers pursuing them. Be careful, stay safe, and keep your eyes opened. Signed, The Brave. Bases, outposts, and communities. The Brave. This group consists of about 10 members. Their mission is to guide and help any wanderers in need. The group does not have a leader. They are friendly and open to trading, but they mostly stay hidden due to the dangers present. The group consistently cleans the lower area to help any wanderers to have an easier and safer preparation. They release weekly updates about level 60 to the Meg. Because of the dangers present on the level, the group's location is constantly changing. They never travel too far because signal strength weakens with distance. Entrances and exits. Entrances. Drowning in any level that has a sea or an ocean may bring you to level 60 during the sea's first characteristic. Exits. By jumping into the sea in its second characteristic, you have a chance of being sent to level 7. There is also a theorized way to exit level 60, where if you sleep at the upper segment, you'll wake up at level 61. This is still unproven and strongly discouraged, due to a large number of entities present at this level.